Well, hi guys, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft. Today I got a lot of projects to work on out in the yard, just back from a couple of days of camping up in the mountains, and I thought I would go over how to make a good cup of coffee out at the campsite. Stay with me, I'll get this fire going and we'll start making some coffee. Well, you certainly don't have to build a campfire to get some coffee going. You can use any stove, any way of heating your water that you want. But today, for a couple of the projects that I have going on here in the front yard, try to knock out a couple of videos today and make some coffee and some lunch while I'm out. And I wanted to do that over the campfire. So we'll just put a couple of these pieces of wood up here. Got a good fire bed going there. And we'll let this get going and we'll come back and talk about some ways to make some good coffee. Okay, welcome back. We got our fire going and we've got a couple of different ways we're boiling water. We're using our squirrel cooker here to suspend a old vegetable can up close to the fire, and we have a rolling boil there. We have our stainless steel mug up on the grate, and you don't always have to do that. You can use a stove of any kind that you like. Here I just have a Coleman multi-fuel stove with a large coffee kettle sitting on top of it. Now of course you can always do the percolator by just bringing the parts. I don't usually do that. I usually just take a large pot, or I use my U.S. military canteen cup or a simple stainless steel cup as we have right here over an open fire. But any method you want to use to get your water hot is fine. But here's the trick. You don't want the water at a rolling boil. Once you get to that point, take your water off your fire and let that calm down a little bit. Your water being too hot will actually scorch your coffee. It'll destroy some of the oils, I believe, and it makes an inferior cup of coffee. So you want your water good and hot, but not at a rolling boil. Okay, let me reposition this camera and I'll show you a couple of the methods we're going to use for our actual brewing. Whenever I want just one cup, I like these little instants here. Instant is not my favorite, but it is pretty convenient. What I like more than these are the Starbucks Via, but to utilize these, I like to use the Starbucks Via cup. But you can certainly use any stainless steel mug that has a sealable top, and that's important. And the reason is, I like to take this, tear the top, dump my coffee in there, pour my hot water, leaving myself about an inch of headroom. I screw that on and then I take it and I give it a few shakes. When I let go, that top will actually pop open. I can let that set for a couple of minutes and I really enjoy these. I think it's a good cup of coffee. My favorite is the Italian roast. And it's starting to rain on me, so we're going to have to postpone this for a few minutes and I'll come right back to you. Okay, due to the rain, we're just going to move inside and keep right on rolling. So here we have the Starbucks Via cup and some Via. What I used to use all the time was this red funnel. This is designed to hold a one of those V style or funnel size 4-cup, I believe it is, coffee filter. Fits in there just like this. You add your coffee, set it on top of your cup, pour your hot water on the inside, and it'll drip through this small hole in the bottom, and it's like having percolator coffee. A pour over, to me, is a nice alternative. It's close to a French press, but a lot more convenient. And of course, when you're done, you just pull the paper filter out with the coffee grounds in it, let it dry, put that in your fire, burn it up, bury it, pack it out with you. It's several options, very small and easy to do. just before this trip I picked up something new. This is a GSI collapsible Java drip. It collapses down nice and small, and I believe this weighs about 5 ounces. It calls for 4.8, but you throw a couple of filters in there with you and you're looking at 5 ounces about. It just pops out like that. I don't know if that was on camera when I did that, but it just pops up like this. And then you do the same thing. You put your funnel on the inside of it, and I'll go ahead and make a cup out of this because I'm ready for my coffee. Okay, as you can see, I have added my filter in my coffee, and I'm using a clear mug here so you can see it. But what you do is you take your hot water and slowly pour it right in the center. And it'll start dripping out the bottom. I like to take it up to where the grounds are completely covered and pour it slowly, making sure that I get the best concentration I can out of that coffee. Now while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and make me some Via. I'll put a little bit of water in my cup. That's probably going to just about take care of that. Then I take the top off of these Via. If there's anything I don't like, it's the perforation at the top. You almost have to cut them. Put all of that in there. And then top it off, about 1 inch headroom here. There's a line inside that cup. Screw my top on. Make sure I hold the little flip top cap, and it pops right open. That coffee is now completely dissolved and is a good cup. A little bit of foam on top, nice and thick. I shouldn't say thick. Coffee's not thick, or at least it shouldn't be. But it's dark. You can't see through it. Let's see. Let me add a little bit more water here in the Java drip. And you can see that running down in there. Hey, these are just a couple of options for you. I have many different ways that I like to make coffee, but these are my favorites. This red cone style filter works just like this Java drip, but it stays in this particular fashion. It doesn't collapse down or anything. It's just made out of a solid plastic. But it's easy to clean, and I pack it with my coffee inside of a plastic bag, and it's very light and doesn't take up much room, and it's well worth the effort out on the trail. So I hope you enjoyed this very short segment on making coffee out on the trail, and enjoy yourself a nice hot cup the next time you're out. Take care. This is Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft. God bless, guys.